Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm absolutely delighted to have one of my best friends in YouTube joining me today, and that is Tottenham fan who's recently joined the 100,000 club. Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin. How you doing, mate?
Very good, Dave. Pleasure to be back with you. How are you?
Good, man. I'm really good, and I'm really looking forward to the game at the weekend as always. And I always enjoy going down to the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. It's a fantastic stadium, and we haven't had a bad record there over a period of time, Wolves. But you know, things have changed a little bit for Tottenham. Yeah, okay, we got that well-deserved win at Molineux, which you probably, although it was a bit gutting for you on the day, you probably couldn't deny Wolves that win that day. Really, that 2-1, that late comeback.
It's a strange one, actually, Dave, because Spurs have had a good season. As you mentioned, a lot have changed off the pitch, on the pitch. Postecoglou, of course, coming in the summer. But that game, Wolves away, that defeat, is probably the game that we are probably most disappointed by for the entire season. Spurs haven't been heavily beaten this season. We've given absolutely everything. Things are very, very different under Postecoglou. The mood is really high at the moment. Spurs are back in the top four. And all the fan base seems to be very united now. The last couple of years have been quite difficult under the likes of Jose Mourinho, Nuno Espirito Santo, and of course Antonio Conte. That entertainment is back, that style is back, and to talk about that Wolves defeat at Molineux, we still have players like Eric Dyer, and now they've moved on. This squad has been transformed under Postecoglou, and we can all see improvements week by week at the football club, on the pitch and off the pitch. So, to be back in the top four, losing Harry Kane in the summer, it's incredible.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, Harry Kane, broke all the records at Tottenham. Is a Tottenham, icon. Is a Tottenham legend. He's smashing it up in the Bundesliga. No surprise, really. He's England captain. He was Willie won't he go for like a couple of years, really. He finally went for good money, and it was a little bit like us with Neves, if you know what I mean, because like Ruben Neves, he was kind of like the main man, and everything revolved around Neves. But in
Yeah,
some ways, I feel that Wolves are a better team without him. Even though Neves is a brilliant player and he would slot into any team in the world, we're so reliant on him in a lot of ways. Is it a little bit similar in that sort of way of thinking with Tottenham? It's like, as a team, you're a better team, even though he's gone.
I wouldn't agree with that term that we're a better team. We're just a different team. When Harry Kane left in the summer, all of us Spurs fans were thinking, where on earth are those 30 Premier League goals going to come from? He scored 30 goals in the Premier League last season. It's an incredible number. As you said, he's a fantastic striker. He's scoring goal after goal, week after week in the Bundesliga at the moment. Whether he'll win trophies at Bayern Munich this season, let's wait and see.
I know. I mean, all these times that he never won a trophy, he's gone to what Bayern Munich, who've won the title 11 times in a row, and now they could finish runners up. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. But, going back to your question, I think we're a very, very different team. Every single player is working for the team. And Heung-min Son as captain now, I think was a great move from Postecoglou. Of course, Maddison and Romero being vice captains as well. That was a great move. But as I said earlier, that togetherness within the squad, within everyone at the club at the moment, the feel is just completely different. But as Postecoglou, Postecoglou's been asked that question a number of times, about are you a better team without Harry Kane? No, it's a very different system. It's a very different team. He played in a pre-season friendly, the last game for Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He scored 4 goals against Shakhtar Donetsk, and Postecoglou said, he fitted into what we wanted him to do. He scored 4 goals. It would be very different. I think we would have probably scored a lot more goals with Harry Kane in our team right now. And Postecoglou would have certainly fitted him in, and has certainly been a leader on the pitch for us. But the feel it feels different right now, and I think sometimes you do need to lose your best players to move on. And we certainly have done that as a football club. We have moved on.
Well, you've moved on really, really, really well. I mean, like, Ange Ball, as it's called. You are fourth in the table. You're hoping to qualify for Champions League. You play some great football. Like you say, the fan base are a lot more united behind the manager, because one of the things from talking to you and following, what happens with Tottenham over the previous couple of years is Tottenham fans want to see exciting attacking football, and they were a little bit fed up of maybe the boring football that was played under the previous regimes. And you're talking about being a better team. Do you find that the fans are off their seats more exciting, more because of the way the team are more proactive and more positive in the forward areas?
Oh, it's like chalk and cheese, Dave. It's been incredible under Postecoglou. Everyone is very excited. Everyone now looks forward to going to games. As I mentioned earlier, those managers, Jose Mourinho, Conte, although they were win now managers, they were very, they were very different managers.
Very stoic.
Nuno, I know you were a big fan of Nuno, previous Wolves manager, but he was terrible. He was a terrible fit for Spurs. That was never ever going to work. And
he was about the 12th choice at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah. When the crowd actually sung, when he took Lucas Moura off and the crowd sang, "You don't know what you're doing," I thought this guy is not going to continue in his job, which of course he didn't. But yeah, the mood, the feel at the club, everyone is super excited. Everyone wants to go to the away games. Everyone wants to go to the home games. Postecoglou's joked a number of times, but the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, when we win a game, on Saturday, when we beat Brighton in the last minute, that place is like a nightclub. That place, the atmosphere is simply incredible. And that has been the feeling all season so far. And that has been a dramatic change. But, when you mentioned about the Champions League, we're currently in fourth spot. Of course, the Champions League format changes for next season. I, together with a number of Spurs fans, I think, after the great start that we had, 10 games unbeaten, sitting top of the Premier League at the very start of the Premier League season, I think we'd all be disappointed if we didn't get that Champions League spot now, particularly how, Postecoglou's done such a great job.
Well, absolutely. And you've been up there, and also Villa are faltering a little bit at the moment, but Man United we've seemed to give them since their last minute winner against Wolves after that crazy game under the floodlights at Molineux. You might have watched some of that. They've gone on and actually put some results together and have closed the gap, so that they've got a little bit of momentum as well. But there's a long way to go in the season for Tottenham and for the rest of all of those chasing European places. And strangely enough, Wolves, who would have believed it, have got an outside chance. And I'll say it's an outside chance of qualifying for European competition. Losing to the likes of Brentford after destroying Chelsea is just so. They call it, where in your neck of the woods, they call it Spursy, don't they? Well, it's a bit Wolvesy. It's a bit Wolvesy. Typical. We'll get a result away at Chelsea and destroy them, and then we'll go and lose to Brentford the following game. And am I right? That's a kind of Spursy thing to do.
Dave, I said this on my Premier League predictions video a couple of days ago. Before the Wolves Brentford game, I actually said Wolves are fantastic at home. They've beat the likes of Manchester City, Spurs this season. That place is rocking. Home games. And, when I saw that result, losing 2-0 at home to Brentford, I was surprised.
We weren't, mate. I'll tell you what, I was confident we played Brentford 4 times in 6 weeks because of the cup. And Emma, the producer, says it's just going to be so Wolves will go and lose this, and we did. We've got a really bad habit at Wolves, mate. We keep conceding the first goal. I mean, we did it against Tottenham and in the game against Molineux, and I think we did get our just results. I mean, I know you must have been absolutely gutted because you never spoke to me for 3 days after the game. You went AWOL. But like when you do lose late, I mean, I think it was a Premier League record. No team had led for as long as Tottenham in any Premier League match in any game and then lost the game. Did you know that?
I think Spurs hold the record at the moment that we have conceded 8 times 90+ minutes in the Premier League this season, which is not great for us. But of course, we have been on the other side of it because, of course, last Saturday, beating Brighton in the 96th minute, we beat Liverpool in the 96th minute. That was that game where the VAR decision was a very strange one, or it wasn't given, and it should have been. But yeah, Tottenham have to concentrate until the very, very last second of the game. Of course, Premier League is such a high level, you never know what's going to happen. The concentration level has got to be there, until the very, very end. So I'm looking forward to this game on Saturday.
Well, yeah, and I'm looking forward to it as well. So, what sort of formation can Wolves fans expect from Tottenham, and the style of play that we're going to expect at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this weekend?
Well, the style of play, Dave. Actually, can I ask you a question? If you look at every single Premier League team, for me and a number of Spurs fans, I know that you might think that some of us are being biased, but we are probably the most entertaining team in the Premier League, or one of the most entertaining teams in the Premier League, because of the attacking style that Postecoglou has. It is super attacking. It is super.
Well, you saw that when you were down to 9 men, and in that, what was it, 8 men in that one game, and he was still going for it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That high line against Chelsea, we were still going for it. We ended up losing the game 4-1. But I have never, ever witnessed a game at home where every single fan stayed until the very end. Normally after a 4-1 home defeat, everyone is out like a shot.
They did score quite late, didn't they, Chelsea?
Disappointed. They did. Yeah. But everyone, I think, realised then what the manager and what the style is going to be at this football club. And, the amount of times that the journalists have said, are you going to change your system? Are you going to change your style? He now laughs at them in the press conferences, because he is not going to change his style. He is not going to change his system. It is all out. And, we score goals in every single game. Every single Premier League game that Postecoglou's managed Spurs, we've scored a goal. I think that says a lot for this team. The likes of Heung-min Son, we've got such great attacking options. I'm expecting Kulusevski, Richarlison and Son to start up top. But then, of course, Johnson got the winner on Saturday. That would mean that he would be on the bench. Whether he comes in for Kulusevski, I'm not so sure. We've got Basuma, who's just come back from international duty. He can be in as well. Got Timo Werner, who have just signed on loan from RB Leipzig. He provided a couple of assists. I know he can probably do a lot more, but then we wouldn't have got him in if he was a fantastic player for now. I think he is certainly going to improve week by week. The midfield, who I expect to play on Saturday, would be Sarr, Bentancur and Maddison. Of course, it's great having James Maddison back. We've really missed him while being out injured. Vicario in goal has been absolutely fantastic, although I think in recent weeks he's been heavily criticised by a number of pundits. Even some Spurs fans have been critical of him of not being stronger at corners. And even Brighton, they tried to get a couple of players to obstruct his view, obstruct him, which really should be seen as a foul, but it wasn't on Saturday, which was a little bit frustrating. Maddison tried to cover him. The back four, Porro, Van de Ven, Romero, and Udogie, they have been absolutely brilliant. Romero, of course, has been out suspended. Van de Ven has been out injured for a long period of time. But when you look at the starting 11 now, he's starting to take shape. And, may I add, that this season Postecoglou not once has had the full squad to choose from. So from now until the end of the season, the business end of the season, I think it's going to be exciting for Spurs, because Postecoglou should have, or hopefully will have, a full strength squad to choose from at this business end, this most important end of the season.
Well, you make some really, really good points there, as always. I mean, that I'm expecting a good game, but you're on about, Ange Ball. I can't say his name as well as you, mate. So I'm not even I'm going to call him Popsicle or something like that. Sticking to how he plays, Gary O'Neill is a very different type of coach. He adjusts to how the other team plays, and the fact that you're saying that Ange is very rigid in how he plays, almost in some ways plays into Gary O'Neill's hands, in the fact that he will know exactly what to expect and he will have a strategy to try and beat that. That's how we've got a lot of success in some of the games that we've played. So it's going to be interesting because it's going to be a different type of philosophy with both managers, because Ange, he'll just go for it, and quite rightly so. And I think it'll be interesting to see how Gary ONeal adapts the Wolves squad. Wolves squad, we haven't got the strength of depth or financial muscle as Tottenham have got. This is a Wolves team that was written off by so many at the start of the season, and we're in the top half. Yeah, we slipped up against Brentford, but we have got some great results. What are you worried about with playing Wolves at the weekend? Are there any players that stick out that you're a bit like bit worried about them?
It's going to sound really cocky, Dave. No, for this Saturday, because we're at home, I'm really confident the Spurs are going to get the win. And when you say about Postecoglou being so rigid and sticking to his system, he has been criticised so often about the way that he plays. But when you look at every single club that he has ever managed, he has been successful. Celtic fans, I've spoken to a number of Celtic fans over the last 6-8 months or so. A number of Celtic fans were not happy with that appointment. Look what he did there. Look how many trophies he won. He won the treble in the last season that he was there. I think that Postecoglou's system, Postecoglou's way, style of play, him as a person, him as a head coach, I think that he is going to provide glory. Glory at Spurs. It's been so long without a trophy. I think he is definitely the man to bring us one. But Wolves,
you're not in the League Cup, are you? And you're out the FA Cup.
No, I think you have to look at this season as this is a transition season for Tottenham. Whether people like that or not, with the amount that has happened at the football club since Pochettino was sacked in 2019, you've got to be realistic in your ambitions and your aims this season. And, he had a number of players to get out the door. He had a number of players to bring in the door. Our transfer window so far, the 2 transfer windows under Postecoglou has been absolutely brilliant. Of course, James Maddison came in. Vicario, the goalkeeper, came in. It's interesting because, again, Vicario came in. A number of Spurs fans were very disappointed with Vicario. Everyone wanted to sign David Raya. Of course, he's gone to Arsenal. In my opinion, we got the better goalkeeper. The signings have been really, really decent. Son appointed as captain as well. Richarlison has stepped up. There is a lot of positivity, throughout our squad and throughout our starting 11. And that's why, without sounding cocky, that's why on Saturday I fully expect to win. And as I mentioned earlier as well, that the atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has been exceptional. Even some of the games where we've gone, and it's happened quite often this season, where we've gone 1-0 down, a lot of people used to be moaning and groaning, and there were a lot of boos at half-time, particularly under Antonio Conte. You'd never get that under Postecoglou this season, because people think, OK, we've gone 1-0 down, no problem, we'll come back and score 2 or 3. And that is the attitude of everyone inside the stadium right now. So if Wolves do go 1-0 up on Saturday,
I was going 1-0 up. It would be a miracle. We don't tend to do that. That's not our style. We tend to we'll give you a goal start, and then we'll have a go in the second half. We've been so slow starting. It's a real frustration, actually. In the last 3 games, we've conceded from a set piece, which we hadn't done throughout the rest of the season. Interestingly enough, I will ask you for a score prediction in a minute. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a reunion, potentially for Son and Wang Hee-chan. Wang Hee-chan back. Son played at the weekend, made a vital contribution for that winning goal. Wang Hee-chan didn't even get to the bench because he pulled up with a calf strain the day before. Matheus Cunha came off at 20 minutes, who's been fantastic for us. Our best front 3 is probably Wang, Cunha and Neto, and we haven't been able to get all 3 of them on the pitch. Neto got injured. Cunha, Wang went off to the Asia Cup, and now he's back, and Cunha's pulled up. I don't know what's going to happen with him or whether he's going to be free, so it's going to be interesting.
Dave, when you mention those players, are you not expecting big things? Are you not expecting Wolves to be pushing for like a European spot, like going for 6th or 7th? Because when you look at previous results, when you go to Chelsea, you must be extremely happy with that result.
Oh,
And
brilliant.
Manchester United, of course, you lost that one. The Brentford game you lost. You think a couple of wins, you could be right up there pushing for a European spot in the Europa Conference or Europa League.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's a possibility, of doing that. We enjoyed the European trips. For me, if we make Europe, fantastic. But like the fact that we lose at home to Brentford, kind of tells us we're not quite there yet with regards to that. You've got to have so much more consistency and be able to put teams to bed. Wolves seem to play better to teams that open up against us, that attack, because we have such pace to be able to exploit that pace. When a team sits, we struggle to break them down, and a top team would be able to do that. And Wolves do tend to fall down when that happens. So we might do. But if we do improve on 13th and have a really good cup run, then that's progress for Wolves this season. If we achieve more than that, then wow.
Yeah. Are you happy with Gary ONeal?
I'm very happy with Gary ONeal, to be honest with you. I'm very happy with him, the job that he's done. He's done a great job. People doubted him. He went on Monday Night Football. The way he come across, I think he showed a lot of people. He's still a very young manager. He's still learning his trade. He's going to make mistakes. He's got to be hopefully backed a little bit more in the summer window, because obviously, I'm sure we'll talk more about this on your channel later on in the week, all of the profits and sustainability FFP issues Wolves have had to deal with. There's a lot of teams that are going to be struggling with that next summer.
Yeah.
Wolves will hopefully be through a lot of that and have a bit more clear water to be able to do a bit more with our squad. You've seen what's happened in the January window that's just gone. There's really only Tottenham that have spent any proper money. And Tottenham have spent the money because they are wanting to secure that Champions League position. And if you get that, you can get that revenue and you can invest and you can go again. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy. Most of the Wolves fans, he's pulled round and got on side. I do think he's still got he's still a young manager and he's learning a lot, but he's a smart cookie. He will have a game plan for the game against Tottenham at the weekend, so I am quite excited about it. We do some of the football. We've played. It hasn't been boring. It's been a lot more exciting to watch Wolves play. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out at Tottenham at the weekend, because I'm going there, feeling that we can get a result. I mean, I'm looking at Tottenham's results recently, and you do like a sequence: win, draw, win, draw, win. You kind of drew a draw. What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go for 2-1. I think the Wolves will go.
Not that confident then.
2-1. 2-1.
That's not that confident, is it? I thought you were going to come out with a, you sounded a lot more confident. You don't sound as confident as what you were earlier on in this chat.
Yeah, no, it's I'll take any win. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is, as long as you win the game. As long as Spurs, stay in that top four and get Champions League, I think that is going to be extremely important to the football club. But as I keep saying, as I've said so many times on this chat so far, the place will be rocking on Saturday, and you'll notice a very different fan base and a very different set of fans. They'll be smiling, chatting about positive things, walking to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I'm sure you will walk into the stadium, mate. It's walking away from the stadium I worry about. I'm just joking, mate. Me and you, we're good friends. We have great banter. We talk. We obviously regularly chat to each other anyway. I'm looking forward to hopefully catch up with you before the game, Matt. Literally, how can people find you and follow you on your socials and also on your amazingly super duper channel?
Yeah, the YouTube channel is called Tottenham Fan Chris Cowlin. We also run the Spurs Chat podcast where we talk about everything Tottenham Hotspur. We also do fan cams, 60-second news updates, Tottenham news updates, you name it, we cover it.
Absolutely. And you will be able to see me live on Chris's channel. What time is that on Thursday? We're going to do a live chat.
5 p.m. on Thursday. Look forward to it, Dave.
Yeah, so yeah, and I'm doing it really, really well. When I've always been on your channel, the guys and girls over there are really, really friendly. Make sure that you leave Chris some love in the comment section below. Looking forward to the game, mate. I wish you all the best in the world as always, and you'll have to wait for my score prediction
Can
for
I,
later on in the week.
can I just say, Dave, that wishing Wolves a very successful season. Obviously not on Saturday, but obviously, at the end of the season, business end of the season, let's hope that Wolves can string some great results together, and it'd be nice to see you guys in Europe again.
Mate, it would be. We did love the European tour, but we'll have to see. There's a long way to go. I still think we could. We'll have to wait and see. And I think, to be honest, I think Tottenham will get that. Even if you lose to Wolves at the weekend, I think you'll still make the Champions League. Look at laughing, guys. Give Chris some love. Smash a big like if you've enjoyed this chat. Subscribe to the channel. I'm only like 90,000 behind Chris in terms of channel numbers. So if you're watching this as a Tottenham fan, help me catch him up.
Get subscribing to Dave. Exactly. Get subscribing to Dave. Subscribe to this channel.
I love it, mate. All the best, mate, and I'll see you on yours on Thursday, and then I'll see you down at the stadium at the weekend.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you.
Fantastic.